Hey, greetings good people and welcome to a new episode of Mosh Pits. Today it sure seems like I'm on a streak with those videos and you should definitely not miss out on any of them, so definitely get subscribed if you want to watch all of the videos that I post around here. Either way, now it's time to start talking about the AMD Zen 3 mobile CPUs because those are definitely going to be interesting, and we're also going to be talking about Apple's M1 and M1X chip. What might that be? I mean, is Apple already making a new variant of that? Damn, how very surprising, am I right? We're actually going to be talking about PS5 as well, just like we did yesterday, and we're actually going to be talking about some smartphones, and this time around they're dirt cheap, I should say. And of course, in the end, we're going to be talking about some gaming and microtransaction news, because what kind of day would that be if we didn't have that in the news? Either way, talking about the AMD 5800U, this one is allegedly going to be really fast. How much faster? Well, 38% faster than their latest 4800U in single-core performance, according to some Geekbench leaks. Which means you laptop gamers out there should be keeping an eye out for those, because yesterday I covered Nvidia's RTX 30 series mobile GPUs, which they'll be pairing with AMD Zen 3 CPUs, and you can of course find out more about that in the video description. In that one, I was saying that I can expect the 5000 series H processors from AMD to be so dang fast, but looking at those benchmarks, I also expect the U series to be surprisingly good as well. Now, those Geekbench links are pointing out to the CPU being able to hit over 1400 points in single core benchmarks and nearly 6500 in multi-core scenarios. Now you can see that in multi-core scenarios we're getting about a 10% improvement, which might be thanks to the changes that AMD has made to the architecture and the cache design as well, which now packs 16 megabytes for the level 3 cache, which is double what the 4800U used to have. But you know what else is very fast? Well, aside from Linus's segues to his sponsors, the M1 chip that Apple has been putting into the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, and the Mac Mini. And speaking of the Mac Mini, this one has received a ton of appreciation from the reviewers, but at the same time, we are now seeing reports of the Bluetooth connectivity issues, so not everything seems to be perfect in Apple land. So if you're using Bluetooth headphones, keyboards, mice, or whatever, you might expect to have some issues with it right now, but I also expect Apple is going to be fixing this in a patch very soon. If not, then start saving some money and get yourself the MacBook redesigns coming out in the second half of 2021. Because multiple leaks and rumors point out to Apple already working on an M1X version of their chip, which should have 12 cores this time around with 8 big cores and 4 small boys. Currently, we expect those to also be featured in some redesigned 14.1 and 16-inch MacBook Pros, but I'm mostly excited for them to upgrade their iMacs to Apple Silicon just to see the world burn, you know, because I suspect a lot of people who are using Hackintoshes right now would really hate that. But if you're anything like me, then you might have some other things to hate on, just like the S21 Case designs, because I don't really like how they look. But with that out of the way, it sure seems that the camera system has been pretty much confirmed at this point by Ice Universe, who has treated us with some leaked case designs, which look somewhat decent, but I honestly can't stand that cutout for the flashlight. Either way, Samsung has also made a trailer for the Exynos 1080 chip, which you'll start seeing in mid-range devices later next year, because the S21 should come packed with the Exynos 2100 and Snapdragon 865, depending on the region that you're in, just as usual. Either way, if you're like me and you happen to be even more broke than a camel's back whenever it comes to money, then let me present to you the Poco M3. For the low price of $129 to $149 US, you can get a phone that looks like it has tried to copy its homework from the OnePlus Cyberpunk 2077 edition phone. To be fair, I kind of prefer that one, but at this price with a Snapdragon 662 chip, 4 gigs of RAM, and a whopping 6000 mAh battery, and a frigging headphone jack, this phone might be perfect for casual users or for moms and dads. Let's just hope that the Poco M3 won't include a metric butt ton of ads just like they did on their last Pocophone. And with that out of the way, if you're not interested in a Pocophone or any other brand and you just want to stick with Samsung, then you might actually want to hear about the A02 and A12, because those entry-level devices are now practically cheaper than dirt. And on a more serious note, I'm actually worried about how many of them will end up in a landfill once people actually get bored of them. Now, these phones look a lot like their bigger brethren, the A40 and the A50, and these specs are quite decent for those phones, but I can't simply understand why companies would slap so many of those mediocre macro and depth sensor cameras instead of using two good ones instead. Well, maybe that just has to do with creating an impression of a better smartphone, because either way, to be fair, I don't make smartphones, so what do I know? But these phones are expected to come in at about 150 to 179 euros, depending on which phones you'd like to get. And I'm obviously talking about European prices right here, because I don't know that much about whether or not they're actually going to be releasing in the United States as well. But I guess you're going to find out more about that in the video description. Now let's also talk about Sony and their PlayStation 5, because yesterday we were talking about it, and lo and behold, I was saying that Sony should be really happy that they sold so many of those goddamn things, and lo and behold, like I was saying, they managed to sell so many of them that it has been their biggest release to date. And now I wonder, what are they going to do? Are they going to produce more? Well, yes, of course, and do expect to see more being available in stock, because they want to make stonks. You know, that's how business works. There is a free tech tip for you. Either way, I wonder what life would have been like without microtransactions as well, and I believe Fortnite is curious about that too. Well, not really. But, you know, instead of contemplating about that, Tim Sweeney and his company decided to implement a $10 monthly subscription service featuring exclusive outfits and accessories, calling it the Fortnite Crew. This one should go live really soon on December 2nd, and Epic says subscribers will receive the Battle Pass, 1,000 V-Bucks, and a monthly crew pack, so expect your kid to actually ask for more Fortnite skins right now. And last up for today, I think it's time to talk about Rockstar and the release of the Red Dead Redemption Online game mode as a standalone version. Yes, my friends, you did hear that right. We were just talking about microtransactions, and Red Dead Redemption is definitely going to make a lot of money, and by that I mean Rockstar Games, because they own it. And this game is actually going to launch really soon on December 1st for only $5, but not for too long, since the game will actually cost you $20 once the sale is gone, so definitely get your wallets ready on the 1st of December and definitely save up for all of those microtransactions that will for sure accompany the game after launch. And what can I say? Heehaw, partner! And I hope that was a very good cowboy impression, because that's going to be the last one you're going to hear from me. And that was actually the last piece of news that you will actually be hearing from me for today. Maybe I'll actually start recording some more videos, but I don't know when I'm going to post them. But either way, this has been Alex with the Red Elk. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Heehaw, partner!